Hello everybody and welcome, this is Comodin Cam. In today's video we're going to be ranking every Devastator design from worst to best. And who better to join me than my good friend UltraPrimal.
Hello, I'm UltraPrimal.
Ultra, what is the main reason we are talking about Devastator? What brought this character up for us?
So one morning I woke up with the thought of, have you ever realized that Devastator literally has a dump truck for an ass? You quote tweeted that, and so here we are.
I latched onto that and I go, this sounds like a video idea. While Devastator's design has remained fairly consistent, there are some designs out there that are really interesting to look at. So let's dive straight into the tier names. The first one we have...
Nothing can withstand the might of Devastator!
Basically, the best Devastator. Next up we have...
Nothing defeats the Devastator! Nothing!
Next up we have a line from Devastation,
Thinking and winning do not mix!
where we kinda like it but then we don't at the same time. The second to last worst tier is...
Prepare for extermination!
And last but not least, we have the most iconic Transformers line, period.
I am directly below! Enemy scrotum!
Yeah, unfortunately.
First up we have Devastator's Generation 1 toy box art. Now this is a classic rendition of a character, very similar of course to how he would turn out in the cartoon, and I think the art and the toy translates with each other really well, and honestly I would have loved to have owned this back in the day.
Yeah, this is a really cool design. Like you said, it's a classic.
On that note, let's talk about its ass. It's a more on the nose kind of ass, and I feel like the toy designers did this on purpose.
It's even got the split down the middle, but it is kind of concave.
I actually like the crack. The crack is a nice attention to detail. Alright, next up we actually have the cartoon Devastator. Like I said, not that much different from the original Generation toy box art. One interesting thing about this is actually something I'm going to add in the ranking itself when it comes to Devastator's head. He alters every now and then.
I actually prefer the one with the visor. I know some people prefer the eyes, but the black part of his head is like way too big. He has like a way too thick neck.
Well, the eyes looks like something slapped on Thomas the Tank Engine. That's what it reminds me of. Yes, I'm so glad you said the visor. I absolutely hate the eyes. I think it's disgusting. I don't know why anyone will like it. Now I'm going to put Transformers Devastator next to its G1 just because it's basically the same design. It's just in a 3D model. Alright, so actually another interesting thing I wanted to talk to you about was the Generation 2 Devastator, and I only want to talk about this right off the bat. Do you prefer any of these colours here?
If I have to have a G2 Devastator, I think I like the orange and purple one better.
Alright, another one I want to talk to you about, which is a very interesting one. This is actually a concept sketch of Devastator.
It's similar to like the actual Diaclone Devastator, who I believe was also like all different colors. I think it's an okay design. It's not very Devastator-y, but it's still a nice design.
UltraPrimal's a really nice person. I would have put that straight into Prepare for Extermination. Now, talking about the Marvel Comics Devastator, there's nothing really to add except for the fact it's got a new head. Like, that's literally it. Very different from the cartoon and toy.
The head kind of reminds me of Ironhide a little bit. It's kind of got that like mohawk thing.
Now, I thought I'd throw in the Zone OVA Devastator because, well, I really like the cape. Like, the cape is such a good new feature.
Yeah, like I'm glad you threw this one in because like it is cool, and like I don't think a lot of people know about like the Zone designs and stuff, like, and how they brought back a bunch of like the combiners and stuff. Some of the armor is kind of cool, but I think that little hat he has is kind of silly.
Because I feel like Devastator actually works well with a cape.
Yeah.
Well, the next one here, we've got an absolute abomination, and I absolutely hate these things to bits. I mean, I don't know what's going off with that little scorpion thing. Yeah, it is. It's Scorpulator. Okay, whatever.
Is that what he's called?
It's on the TF Wiki. I promise you all, go check it.
That's kind of adorable. Scorpulator.
He uses him as a gun. That's kind of like animal abuse, a little bit, I guess.
A little bit.
I mean, he did it before Blackout.
Yeah.
Alright, next up we have the 2003 Universe Micromaster Devastator. Not bad, it's okay.
This is one of my favorite Devastators. Really looking forward to this guy when he first came out.
Really?
Okay.
Well, I mean, if this is one of your favorites, then, what do you think about its ass?
It has a pretty decent ass, but my only qualm is that it's technically not a dump truck.
There's not a lot of superior asses so far. We haven't found an ass that is the might of Devastator. This is Idw Devastator here. Now, in fairness, it is new, and it's actually a refreshing take. You know, you got a bit more wonkiness, but I feel like that's also a flaw of it. There's just so much happening. The only thing I kind of like more is the head.
Yeah, the head is really nice. It's a shame that, like, Hasbro couldn't afford to do different limbs. Like, each limb is, like, repeated once, and that's for, like, all the Energon combiners.
Not only that, it doesn't have an ass. It is the smallest, the flattest, the non-existent ass I've ever seen. Devastator.
Not a great ass. It's like almost hollow. Technically, it's not even a Devastator because it's Constructicon Maximus. I don't know if we mentioned that, but he's not actually a Devastator.
Alright, next up is Devastator from 2007, the first Transformers movie. We're probably going to get a lot of trouble for putting this in.
Yeah, but it's Devastator, you know? He said like Devastator rolling out or something. That was his one line.
Yeah, like, that's official. Michael Bay knew what he was doing. Like, you know, this is canon. He's actually the same Devastator in Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah. He just comes back as like multiple vehicles instead of a tank.
We've got to be really careful here because we're going to piss a lot of people off.
The enemy scrotum.
I think they just didn't expect to make another one.
They had that much faith in the first movie.
Let's talk about the real Devastator now. I don't even know where to begin. I have kind of like a split feeling on it.
I'm not a fan of like the gorilla proportions or the head. I don't mind like the different colors and stuff. I actually think it's kind of gives like a nice contrast and stuff. It's like it's definitely different from a lot of the other movie Decepticons that are often like gray or silver or, you know, some variation thereof.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying about the colours. I actually don't have a problem with the colours so much because they do contrast really well. But that doesn't stop it from being an absolute ugly abomination. I think that's kind of why I like it. I mean, this is the first Transformer to get its own testicles, which is pretty iconic for the franchise, to be fair.
We are doing all the ass shots, so I guess we might as well do some scrotum shots. I know everybody went nuts for the Studio Series toy. It's definitely like an original take on Devastator.
That's why I feel like I've got to give it a higher spot because at least it's different and it was kind of bold when you think about it to just make Devastator like this. Let's talk about the behind of this beast.
Not actually a dump truck. It's actually a scoop. So...
yeah, he's scooping up his shit.
There you go.
Well, actually, let's talk about the toys of this Devastator. I want to get this first one out of the way. This is a Mega Power Bot. It's ugly. It's absolutely terrible. I just want to smash it. Who would buy this for a kid? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a giant McDonald's toy.
The next one is even a bit worse, to be fair. This is a Burger King Devastator.
Something out of like a Resident Evil. It's kind of disgusting.
Wow, did you know he can also turn into a playset? I feel like that's just one big tongue.
That would be some Kiss Play level stuff there if that was his tongue. Yeah, I would not pick this up for $1.
Well, actually, Devastator did have G1 colours slapped onto him. I actually kind of prefer the different colours now, compared to the all green, because I don't think it really works out well when you actually look at it. But then we also have this little minifigure, which looks like an angry grandma ready to chase you down the street.
And I actually have this one, and I think on buying it like fell apart easily.
Next up, we got Mecha Nations Devastator. Not bad. I definitely wouldn't want to wake up to this though on the side of my bed because I feel like it'd give me nightmares, but yeah. Next up, we got Combiner Wars Devastator. A good interpretation, of course, of its original Generation 1 counterpart.
It's a pretty good Devastator. Obviously, like, the Takara version is better than the Hasbro one. Biggest complaint is probably Micromaster. Like, I don't know why they did, like, the double cab on Micromaster. At least this one technically has the dump truck ass.
Well, actually, next up is a very interesting one. We've got a Creo Devastator. Now, this thing is wild. It's definitely interesting on both sides. You got kind of a wrecking ball on one side, and then you got the drill on the other side. Then you got some sort of weird claw thing though, which I don't like.
Kind of interesting. It's like a combination of like the G1 Devastator and the movie Devastator.
Most of the Creo designs of like the small versions have been doing pretty well with capturing it. But I feel like because Devastator's got lots of layers added to him, this just looks like a generic Decepticon.
Yeah.
Well, we've got another Creo, the last Creo. We've got the Micro Changer.
It looks like it actually is like a combiner, because like the arms and legs looks like they are like the mini figures or something. So I don't know, I would place this a little bit higher than the last two.
Now, this is technically not Robots in Disguise. This is the Tiny Titans line, but obviously it had an art card, and so did Devastator. There's really not much to say about this because it's got the similar art style, but it's pretty much G1 Devastator.
It could definitely use more paint, but I think the Tiny Titans had like very little paint budget.
Next up, we've got IDW Devastator, but technically this is Prowlestator. Yeah, because that happened. IDW just wanted to slap Prowl on Devastator.
I think Prowl had aligned himself with the Constructicons, and this was after Spike had killed one of the other Constructicons, so they could no longer combine. But then they like betrayed him and somehow like re-engineered his body so that they can combine with Prowl. I mean, it's a good looking Devastator design.
This is from the All Hail Megatron comic. Now this one's actually pretty cool. You know, it's actually a different chest, which I like. It's pretty much the same in terms of its limbs, but the chest is kind of different and altered, which is nice because usually you'd have the purple on the chest, but this one is absent of that.
But yeah, he's definitely missing his bra, I guess you could call it. He's going au naturel.
Next up, we've got Battle Tactics Devastator, and yeah, I hate this. He looks pretty ugly.
It's a little bit on the cute side.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels like G1 Devastator impersonating movie Devastator.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Alright, next up we've got Angry Birds Devastator. Here we go again. I mean, it's become a joke at this point, and a lot of people actually give me criticism for not liking him. And I go, well, okay, it's pretty much G1 Devastator, but a pig for a head.
Yeah. Like, do we have to review this one? It's pretty terrible.
Stupid pig. I'm pretty sure this is Scorponok, right? And they've redecoed it to Devastator.
I could see that, kind of. It's kind of an interesting design, but maybe not the best Devastator, because, like, obviously you're missing two of the members. Yeah, like, as much as I have, like, some nostalgia for this one, because I really wanted this one growing up, yeah, we could put that in enemy scrotum.
That's what you wanted growing up? Oh, that's adorable. Okay, let's move on. Alright, next up we've got the Buildmaster Devastator, and I actually really like this one. This is an interesting take.
Oh yeah, this one's awesome. Yeah, I believe this one was like a Takara exclusive, I want to say. But what was cool about Power Core Combiners is when you just plug the vehicle into the limb slot and it like auto transforms into the limb.
I just like its shoulders, and like I just like the head design as well. I think it's really neat. Let's talk about one that's not really good. This is just a decoy Devastator. Look at his face. I mean, isn't that... I just want to stomp on it.
Like a very like frightened, horrified expression.
Well, the next one is a very refreshing take. This is Beast Wars Uprising Devastator.
This one's really cool, and it's actually based on the Micromaster Devastator that we looked at earlier. Which I guess kind of makes sense, since like I think fictionally like Beast Wars used like Micromaster technology, and that's like why all the Beast Wars characters are really small compared to like the G1 Autobots and Decepticons. If it wasn't obvious already, I really like that design.
Well, do I need to even show you? It's the Funko Pop Devastator. I mean...
I think we could put this one straight into the enemy scrotum, because Funko Pops are terrible. Sorry to all the people that like Funko Pops, but yeah, they suck.
I've got one. I actually have one right in front of me. It's the medieval Sedania one, and his head actually looks like how it does in the game. But you know what I did? I put an eyeball on it to make it look better.
Oh, that one. Okay, so that's not too bad.
Next, we've saved the best for last. Ultra, I think you should introduce this one, to be honest, because I feel like you might do a better job than me.
So this is the Flame Toys. It's really known for doing very attractive Transformers, I guess is the best way to put it. Sometimes getting them in trouble with some parts of the fandom. It's like, look at them hips. Yes.
I mean, this is the most extreme I've ever seen. I mean, to be fair, I like it, but not for the reasons you think. Like, I generally think it just looks really cool. I mean, most importantly, we've got to talk about his ass. Is it a dump truck?
I guess it's technically a dump truck since, like, this is G1 Devastator, and even though it doesn't actually transform or anything, I guess it's still technically a dump truck ass. If we were to rank one ass at the top, this would definitely be it.
Well, the next design we have is something I wasn't going to include, but I just thought out of tribute, I would include the Transformers animated Devastator. Of course, this is just a head design.
Remember when we looked at those two versions? It definitely seems to be a mix of those two, because the face is really small, but the head is like really big. So it kind of reminds me of the eyes one, but it has the visor from the second one. Yeah, I like the head design. I do wish we could have got to see like the whole like animated Devastator.
Alright, last but not least, let's talk about some fan arts, because oftentimes some fan arts are better than original designs themselves. This is by Javier Carabajal, technically fan art. Now, this was actually used for the Transformers Sector 7 game, but it was originally posted on many forums. But this is like back in 2007 with the Sector 7 ARG game.
Definitely put this high tier.
Next up, we've got a Devastator design by DeviantArt user RA88, and this is one of my all-time favorite Devastator fan art designs. This is way back in 2009. I really hoped that it would look like this in the show. As you can see, he combines Scrapper, Mixmaster and Dirt Boss together, and the alternate concepts you see at the bottom as well look really cool.
Yeah, this is a really cool design. Definitely, like if this was in the show, I think it would be pretty good.
The next Devastator design is by a former DeviantArt user called Digiola. Instead of just 3, we've got like interpretations of all the Constructicons. I actually think this is very creative. Don't get me wrong, he's a very chunky dude, but
definitely like a little bit of a mix. It's got like a little bit of the movie design in it. I think especially like since it is like, you know, it's got Rampage the dog and Bone Crusher, who looks to be like the movie design for Bone Crusher and stuff. I like parts of it. I don't like the head. I don't know.
The head's definitely out there, but I feel like I've let it pass because of Dirt Boss, because of how big his head is. So there we have it, guys. Every Devastator design ranked from worst to best. Now, Ultra, out of all Devastators we've talked about today, what would be your all-time favorite design?
I guess I would have to go with like the original Devastator design. Like it just holds up. I don't know. I think I like the cartoon Devastator better. Like if they ever came out with a toy that looked like the cartoon Devastator, I think that would probably be the perfect Devastator. But shout out to the Micromaster one. It's kind of like a pet favorite.
Well, to be honest, I'll actually have to agree with you on that one. I personally prefer the G1 cartoon Devastator, especially how he was animated in the 1986 movie. Wow, I think that's the first time I've actually agreed with someone on these collaborations. Of course, let me know in the comment section below, guys, which Devastator is your personal favourite. If you want some in-depth, detailed reviews of your favourite Transformers cartoon shows, of course, check out UltraPrimal's channel. She has always got content almost every week on fan favourite Transformers shows. Most of them are already up there. You're doing one at the minute with Armada, which is very nice, one of my favourites.
Thank you for having me, Cam.
If you want more comedy thrown your way, check out my other channel, Comodin Cam Gaming, which Ultra has actually appeared quite frequently, especially in our latest Fall of Cybertron video where we celebrated its 10th anniversary. A lot of fun, I think you'll all really enjoy it, so check that video out. For more Transformers ranking videos, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get all updates instantly. This has been Comodin Cam and UltraPrimal. Goodbye.
See ya. Bye bye.